Hey guys, Dylan here, and after 2 long years, I have decided to do a part 2 to Yandere Simulator is Stupid. You guys may be wondering what happened to all my other Yandere Simulator videos besides the original one. I decided to private them because Yandere Dev is on a striking spree, something that I'll talk about more at the end of the video, and I don't want him to have more videos to strike. So those videos are gone. There wasn't much going on with them anyway, and hopefully you guys will enjoy what I have to say here. If you guys haven't watched a part 1 yet, I would advise you to go back and watch that, because I'm not going to summarize it or anything. We're just going to continue with the modern day stuff. So if you guys aren't caught up on who Alex is, or all the wacky shit he did, or why his game isn't going to work, go check out the first video. That's where I sum up all that stuff. So the first thing I want to talk about is the game made by Alex himself, and that game is Yandere Simulator. And we took a good look at Yandere Simulator last time, so we're just going to do a little update on Yandere Simulator. We're going to look at every big thing they added since we last covered it. They added a bunch of clubs, the photography club, the science club, just a bunch of club members, added in a shit ton of students that made the school lag all to hell. He did a bunch of drama videos, which I'm sure helped everyone. I'm sure that's what we needed more of. He added an intro cutscene and a different intro cutscene. He tried to add in a little town and a maid job for Yandere-chan, and it didn't work, and it was just a giant waste of time. It literally went nowhere, and I don't think it's ever coming back. So he wasted unknown hours doing that worthless thing. He tried to add in a bunch of stuff about joining the delinquent gang, and that was pointless. That isn't gonna go anywhere. And then finally, he added in snap mode. And snap mode is nothing. All snap mode does is rip off the fucking Friday the 13th video game and has you run around fucking punching through people like you're fucking Jason Voorhees. Because, you know, once upon a time, this was just a normal school child. Now, instead, it's some type of otherworldly being capable of punching through people's guts, but then also needs to resort to stabbing people with a tiny knife. So, whatever. There isn't a lot of development done on the game. The game isn't that far in development. And 2 years later, and I'm sure everyone is shocked, there is no Osana. Osana is still not in the game. So, yeah, I was right. I don't think we're ever going to get Osana in the game. And now, just as a little game, we are going to look at how Yandere Simulator looked like the last time I reviewed it, the last time I talked about it, compared to now. I'm going to let this clip play, showing off the school and what it looked like in 2018. And now we're going to look at what the school looks like in 2019, which is not too far off from where we're at now. They look practically identical, so I couldn't find a lot without commentary. As you can tell, like, a weird filter has been added. He added a couple of trees, he changed some of the textures, and he added, like, outlines to everyone and made it look like they're cel-shaded. It looks fucking hideous, and I hate it. Like, look at the color contrast between the two. The other game looked better. That's sad. And all these students, they all hurtle together. They all clump up, and I'm sure it's making the game lag to hell. The game really doesn't have much added to it. In fact, it seems like a lot of shit is taken away, because he's afraid of people exploiting the game, because he doesn't know how to fucking code it. And now there's just students roaming everywhere, so doing basic killing isn't even easy anymore. It's like almost impossible to kill somebody. It's really, really fucking lame. Now, one of the other things I had predicted would happen last time is that people would just go and buy the same assets that Yandere Dev did and make their own Yandere simulators. And that ended up happening. There was quite a few mobile Yandere simulator games. I'm going to play some clips from those so you can see how these are. And this is proof of Yandere Dev's incompetency. You see those T-posing students? Let's fast forward that a little bit. Oh fuck yeah, this Yandere-chan has a motorcycle. You know what? This one's actually kind of better. This one's actually better than the Yandere simulator he's working on. Holy shit, she has a gun too. You know what? I was gonna shit on this game, but this game's actually kind of better. So yeah, that one's called High School Simulator. And then this other game came out called Yandere School. Let's take a look at that. It's all the same premise. It's all the same type of shit. The other one actually used the assets. This one's trying to be its own thing in appearance, but it still just rips off the premise of Yandere Simulator. And then finally, we have this mobile game, Sarah's School Life, that is also just using the exact same models from Yandere Simulator. It is an attempt to make a mobile Yandere Simulator game, but with a different character and different cast. But it's the same type of shit. People are literally going out and buying the assets or just straight up making similar assets to make their own knockoff games. And that is going to be the main focus of what we are talking about today. Now, our first subject that we are going to be talking about is Epic Meal Dev. Epic Meal Dev is one of the people who decided that they were going to make their own Yandere Simulator game. They took the advice that I had in the last video saying that anybody can make a Yandere Simulator game. If Alex isn't going to finish it, you should. And he decided to make his own Yandere Simulator-esque game. So we're going to go over there and look at that, and then we're going to see what happened and how Yandere Dev reacted. This is his game called Watashi no Mono. And I know I probably said that wrong, but oh well. This is what the game looked like when it was first being developed. Yeah, this is an earlier build of the game right here. It's a very basic game. Originally, when it started out, it looked just like Yandere Simulator. At this point, they were starting to change some of the stuff. It's the same type of game, though. And then, for some reason, he decided to completely rebuild it from the ground up and changed everything, and it looked like this. And people were really hyped for this game. People were really excited for this game. People wanted to see more of Epic Meal Dev. They were considering him to be the new Yandere Dev. And when people considered him to be the new Yandere Dev wasn't going to take that sitting down. So Yandere Dev actually ended up reaching out to this man, and they ended up having a disagreement in the DMs. These DMs are now leaked, so we are going to look them over. Epic Meal Dev says, I took people's suggestion. That doesn't mean I'm incompetent or bad at anything. Yandere Dev ends up responding with, I don't know what to tell you. It's like I'm speaking to people who come from two completely different realities. In one reality, your game is a sham. In the other reality, your game is a genuine attempt at a game. I'm really shocked that you would tell someone that their game is a sham right to their face and expect them to like you. What I do know is that people feel justified in attacking me or lose faith in me or withdraw financial support from me. And that has nothing to do with his game. People were already leaving him well before this. He's been doing this shit for years. This game came out and it didn't affect him at all. This game didn't hurt him any more than he was already being hurt by his own negative reputation. He's just trying to pin it all on Epic Meal Dev. Epic Meal Dev was just making a competitor game. He wasn't trying to ruin Yandere Dev. Yandere Dev is losing support because he's an asshole. That's the truth of it. Or withdraw financial support for me because they believe that your game is proof that I could be doing my job faster, which you could be. You could be finished with the game by now if you actually put your fucking all into it, but you refuse to ask for help. You refuse to accept help. At this point, you need to really just evaluate what you're doing. But from what I hear, your game is held together with bubblegum and band-aids. Look who's talking. Your fucking game is held together with else ifs, and you're telling people how to run their game? I bet you his game was more competently put together than yours. Like, seriously, throwing rocks when you're in a glass house. That's what you're doing right now. And you've even had to reboot development from scratch. At this point, that's what I would recommend you to do with how terrible your game is. So if I make a video saying, guys, I don't have enough income, and the response is, you don't deserve income, your game is proof, then I have to follow up and explain why your game isn't an example of a well-developed game. And it would suck for me to have to do that, since I hate drama, which is a lie, and discussing other games, which is a lie. So if you came clean to your audience, then there wouldn't be an ugly, messy situation for me to have to deal with. He's telling that guy to fucking tell his audience that he sucks. That's literally what Yandere Dev wants of him. So in short, you're asking me to go to my entire community and say, hey guys, my game was fake the entire time. My coding's bad and I'm starting from scratch because the game is trash in general. Sorry, you can leave the fan base now. And Yandere Dev responds with, yes, because that's my understanding of the situation, and it would be nothing short of honesty, what the fuck, and transparency to admit that to your audience. What a fucking asshole. What a complete fucking piece of shit. The irony isn't lost on me. It's possible that I have an entirely incorrect understanding of the situation. Maybe the volunteers and ex-volunteers I spoke with were exaggerating or mistaken, which that's ironic for you to fucking say, because I can interview a shit ton of people that worked for you that would say a lot worse. Yandere Dev, Alex. I've been told that X is 2, which is why I've drawn the conclusion that X plus X is 4. Oh, shut the fuck up. Maybe I've been misinformed about X. Oh, you pretentious fuck. What I do know is when people attack me, mistreat me, abuse me, harass me, their justification is Watashi no Moto. You're working on a project that negatively impacts my well-being. No, it isn't. It's a competitor to your game. If it negatively impacts you, that's because you're not doing enough work on your own game. You shouldn't tell this man to quit because you can't fucking step up to him. And when I ask, can you please tell people in your YouTube comments to not be shitty towards me, you won't even agree to do something like that. Something that simple, that basic, that humane, trying to appeal to his emotions there. And he already had lettering on the videos showing the game off saying this is a fan game. It is not meant to replace Yandere Simulator and shit like that. So he's already bending over backwards for Dev. Now Dev just wants him to let his dick up his ass. Epic Meal Dev says, you're literally asking someone else to take down their hard work to better your hard work. That's not basic and humane. And he's right. That's 100% right. Fucking Yandere Dev is completely out of order asking for something like that. It is completely ridiculous to expect shit like that. But this isn't where it ends. This isn't where it ends at all. I'm going to show you what happened to this project, Epic Meal Dev. This is his YouTube channel, and the only video that's left in the description of the video, it says, hello everyone. I'm sure that you're all anticipating whether or not I'll be continuing the project. Today, and he puts the date, I have made a decision. But before that, I'd like to explain what Watashi no Mono originally was and where it went wrong. My game was originally just a fun project that I was going to do where the game would be like Yandere Simulator, except the rivals are me and my friends' characters rather than my own designs. It was never supposed to become a complicated game at all. It was just something that would be enjoyable for me and my friends and I. I only uploaded the first progress video to show off to my friends. I was a small YouTuber and I didn't expect anyone to catch on to the project. It got more and more exciting to work on something that many people enjoy. However, not all the attention was positive, especially because of Yandere Simulator drama going around. People started putting my game on a pedestal above Yandere Simulator. However, that was never the case to begin with. It was just a simple project that I never had any real programming experience before it, neither did Yandere Dev. However, Watashi no Mono was not a fake game, but a genuine attempt at one. Over time, the expectations got higher and higher because the attention coming from people who didn't like Yandere Simulator, rather than people who enjoyed the project by itself. Eventually, I lost interest in the Yandere genre entirely, which I don't know if that could be counted as a genre, but whatever. There's a lot of gameplay flaws that a game like that would create, which is true. It always seemed like a flawed concept, and the game would just be boring with the way it had been executed. I'd like to make my own games with concepts that I enjoy, and games that people can appreciate without needing to hate another game. Competition is fine, but this got out of hand. I'm sure a lot of people have been anticipating the return of Watashi no Mono, but I am no longer interested in staying in the Yandere Simulator community. He left the community because of Yandere Dev. What the fuck? And I have no plans in returning. This was not an easy decision, but I am leaving the project and I hope you can respect my decision. I'm very happy that I've gotten to this point and this amount of support, and I'd like to thank every single person who volunteered on the game and decided to support my project financially. Thank you for taking interest in Watashi no Mono. So the game is done. The game is done. He gave up on it. Yandere Dev called it a sham. He called it a fake game. And he shit all over this man and made him no longer want to continue it. After all that, what do you think Yandere Dev thinks about all this? Well, let's read. Let's read what he has to say. This is on his debunk page. Yandere Dev threatened a competitor to stop developing his game. In short, no, I didn't. This is an event that occurred in 2019 to save this developer from too much humiliation. I don't want to say his name. A developer started uploading videos to YouTube of a game that was supposedly developing. A lot of people felt justified in harassing me or dropping their support for me because they were tricked into believing that this developer was creating a superior game and was doing it faster than me. Wow, that's gonna sound familiar soon. However, he was not actually developing a real video game. He was just creating footage for YouTube to give the impression that a game was under development, which is a lie. I seen the fucking game play. It may have not had a lot to it, but it was still a game. That's not how that works, Yandere Dev. You're a fucking liar. He was a con man. That is straight up slander. Actually, it'd be libel, but it's lying. You can get sued for this type of shit. A scam artist. What the fuck? I learned this from his former partners who abandoned his project. So now you're just gonna fucking smear him like this? Like, what the actual fuck? I'm sure a lot of people will say that about you when your project fucking burns. When they realize that he had simply been using them to make his scam look like a legitimate video game. Because his fake game project was having a lot of negative consequences for me and my real game. I confronted him and told him that he should stop being dishonest and confess the truth. I explained that if he kept tricking people into believing that Yandere Simulator was being surpassed by a new game project, I would eventually have to make a video defending my project by explaining the truth that his game was not actually a real game at all. Which I could make the same fucking type of argument about your game. Your collection of mini-games surrounded upon stolen assets, but was an illusion created for the sake of YouTube videos. Cough, 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 looks at your Patreon. This was not a threat, but was a simple factual state of affairs. Later in 2020, another developer, I'll leave that. I'll leave that aside because we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that. So talking about this other developer before I spoiled it, we're going to go on to the next Yandere Simulator game. This is called Love Letter, and originally it was being called Love Sick. And the name Lovesick was a reference to Yandere Simulator. It's had a Lovesick feature for a while that doesn't really do anything. So, yeah, he decided to make his own game, and he was going to call it Lovesick, Dr. Apis. And Yandere Dev got very upset. And the main thing that really, really, really upset him is the fact that people kept telling him that this game was made in 2 weeks. The fact that he could make what Yandere Dev did in years, in 2 weeks, really upset Yandere Dev. Someone messaged him on Discord saying 2 weeks, and he responded, they didn't actually make a better game in 2 weeks. They used my work as a base instead of starting from scratch. They are also using assets that were created specifically for Yandere Simulator, which I don't know if that's true, but I know the models aren't made specifically for Yandere Simulator, which they do not have permission to use. They don't have to deal with nonstop harassment and abuse. That's entirely on you being a dick to people. So they get to work without constant interruptions, unlike me. You don't have to fucking listen to anyone. You choose to interact with them. That doesn't work. They gain the advantage by ripping off a pre-existing game instead of making something original like I did. Yes, your fucking Persona Hitman is so fucking original. So original that you even told people that it's Persona Hitman. Wow, the fucking balls on this man. Now, let's transition over. We're gonna go look at this game. We're gonna go to Dr. Apis's channel and take a look at this game. This is Dr. Apis's channel right here, and this is Lovesick. This is the original trailer showcasing the game. You can see that he actually did get fucking Yandere Dev's shitty city to work. His shitty little street corner, he got that to work. He implemented the money idea and got that to work. He has more stores than Yandere Dev had. He has better looking students than Yandere Dev had because he's actually better at editing them. And the game actually runs better. And when you talk to people, it zooms in on their face so you can actually look like you're talking to a real human being. There are so many small things that this game had to improve upon Yandere Simulator. But when Yandere Dev called him out for not being original, he actually took that and ended up going to remake everything. Completely different fonts, completely different type of money system, and he's even remaking all the characters. This is a clip from the game that's being developed right now. This is from the new updated build. Let's take a look at it. So that's his new character, Bo-chan. He's actually replacing everything, and I'm really excited to see what this game is going to become. Now, since you've seen the game and know who this guy is, let's go and read the interactions that Yandere Dev has had with him, because I'm sure that's the part that you're most interested in. This is the first post that Yandere Dev made about Apis. We're going to read this aloud. I'm sure you guys are going to love this. Someone recreated Yandere Simulator in less than 2 weeks. In short, no, that isn't true. I love how all of this is just no. Every time he addresses anything, it's no. No, it's not true. That's a lie. It's never, yeah, that happened. Over the course of Yandere Simulator's development, countless people have said, I can do better than Yandere Dev, and they have, and started developing similar projects. All these projects lasted a few months, which is a lie. Fucking Watashi no Mono lasted 2 years almost. Sometimes weeks. Sometimes only days before collapsing. That is straight up a lie. It is extremely... He's trying to discredit this person. He's trying to discredit this person before they even do anything, so people won't fucking support them and will continue supporting him. It's just his money-grabbing scheme. It is extremely easy to use the Unity engine to quickly produce a simple game prototype that is specifically resembles Yandere Simulator. Maybe because Yandere Simulator is that. It's something you easily put together in fucking Unity, and anyone can put it together in just, even less time than you. You're a retard who took years to build this in Unity. I'm sure it only takes other people a couple weeks to do it, to quickly replicate the surface level aspects of Yandere Simulator, such as schoolgirl walking around a school, and student turns into ragdoll after being stabbed. These beginner level tasks that anyone can access the Unity engine can do without any effort. Wow, way to make the first year of your fucking development look like it was for nothing. When someone says, I recreated Yandere Simulator in 2 weeks, what they are actually saying is that they copy-pasted a bunch of my game's assets into a Unity project, then made a character walk around in a school environment creating a flimsy illusion, which illusion is the same thing he said to the other guy who is making a game. What a weird bit of deja vu that they are developing a game. And sadly, they are actually people who are gullible enough to fall for that illusion. The situation is actually pretty ridiculous. Needless to say, it's a problem for me if thousands of people are tricked into believing that it's possible to recreate all of Yandere Simulator in 2 weeks, even though these imitation games don't even have 10% of Yandere Simulator's functionality. Yandere Simulator doesn't have 10% of functionality. It can barely even keep a solid frame rate. I wouldn't be bragging about its functionality. It's a depressing and demotivating set of circumstances to be in. Fucking finish your game then. Aside from that, it's worth mentioning that anyone building a Yandere Simulator clone, which it can't be a clone if your game isn't even done yet, using assets ripped from Yandere Simulator, is treading in very dangerous legal territory. I'm sure you have this thing that's not even finished legally copyrighted. I'm sure you're actually on top of this shit. You're gonna copyright all these characters that you don't even own. The fucking senpai is literally just the default male with like a different hair color from the fucking pack that you bought on the Unity store. The fucking Yandere-chan is literally just the basic bitch that you fucking colored her hair black instead of blue. Like, you don't get to talk about legal shit. First, it must be mentioned that anyone can purchase the Unity Store models and use the models to make a game. There's no legal problem with that. Anyone can go to the Unity Store and purchase AOE character model and gain the legal right to use that model in a video game. Yes, people have done that quite a bit now. However, if a developer rips the character models from Yandere Simulator and starts using these models to build a game, they are violating the law because they obtained the character models illegally without paying for them, which you don't know if he did or didn't pay for them, you're assuming. From what I've heard, he actually did pay for them. He even said himself that he paid for them. Furthermore, there is something else to consider. Aside from the AOE model, numerous environmental models were created specifically for Yandere Simulator. Those models are not Unity Store models that anyone can purchase and use. These models were created and given to me and used in Yandere Simulator only. Just like that grass you stole. Just like the other numerous assets and models and pieces of artwork that you stole. Stealing them and building a game with them is asking for legal trouble. So I guess all those people you ripped off should take you to court. When a volunteer creates an asset, that asset is the volunteer's copyrighted content. I don't think any of your volunteers are gonna go with that. I don't think any of these volunteers you have making your shit for you will take this man to court. When a volunteer gives that asset to me and says, my work now belongs to you, you are the owner of this asset, they have transferred the copyright to me. That's not how copyright works. They transferred the ownership to you. That's not how copyright works. It's not copyright until you copyrighted it. Sometimes an actual written contract and signature is involved. That's still not how copyright works. Someone who is using these models in their game is in fact violating my copyright. It's not copyrighted until you get it copyrighted. God, I swear, people think they can write on a fucking Google document and they think that's copyright. That's not how that works. And I have the legal right to take action against them. Do it. Do it. It'd be hilarious. If they are in denial about this, it is an indication that they understand how copyright law works. Okay, so he's trying to scare this man. He's trying to scare Apis, saying that he's going to bring out his internet attorneys. That's what he's doing here. An extremely small amount of Yandere Simulator's assets, like less than 1%, are from the Unity Store. You are a liar. You are straight up a liar. All the characters are from the Unity Store. They make up more than 1% of the game. You are lying. The vast majority of the game's assets are completely original, and the copyright is either owned by me or a volunteer that created the asset for me. More than likely the other one, because you don't do shit. And Yandere Dev goes on to continue doing legal threats towards Apis when he makes this post. There is a person who ripped my game's assets and dropped them in the Unity project and gave a character ability to walk around an environment, creating a flimsy illusion that they are developing a game. This person has claimed, look, I recreated Yandere Simulator in under 2 weeks, which is a ridiculous claim, because they didn't actually create anything. They just copy-pasted my assets into Unity and called it their own work, which is funny considering what you made. It's not a game. It's a mirage of a game, which is very befitting. That's what the tagline for Yandere Simulator should be. Unfortunately, this person's scam is gaining a massive amount of traction, since they uploaded a video announcing, also they called it a scam again. He's calling all of his competitors scams. Like, this guy isn't even raising money, so how is it a fucking scam? Project 2 days ago. They have amassed almost 100k views on YouTube. An alarming number of people have actually believed someone has managed to recreate Yandere Simulator 100% within 2 weeks, and the developer is going to build a superior game that surpasses Yandere Simulator. Is pretty ridiculous. No, it's not. Your game is pretty basic. I wouldn't be shocked if a competent developer could do 10 times better than your game in under a month. Tens of thousands of people are falling for the false narrative. Wow, another fucking retread. I'm getting serious deja vu here. That it's possible to recreate Yandere Simulator within 2 weeks, and are spreading the notion that everyone should jump ship from my project to this new project. I presume that this will be a powerful negative impact on the ability that the Kickstarter will be successful. If the Kickstarter fails, Yandere Simulator can't exist. This is an external threat to Yandere Simulator, so he's trying to weaponize his fan base to attack these other projects because he wants to get more shekels from people. What a fucking greedy asshole. Your Kickstarter isn't going to work because you spent 6 years developing nothing. Like, your game isn't even a game. You still don't have your first rival. There's no objective. It's just a bunch of mini games fucking put together with you being able to stab people. That's it. It's a hodgepodge of fucking code. It's nothing. Quit weaponizing your retarded children that are watching your videos that don't actually look into the type of piece of shit that you are. If all these assets in his game were original and he made everything from scratch, I would say there's no problem. But he's literally downloaded all my assets and claimed that he's developing a game. He is also under the impression that he is legally safe doing this. Action has to be taken. Swift legal action. He did not file any legal report. He did not do anything legally. So I think he's just another man bluffing about his internet lawyers. He isn't going to do jack shit. And everyone knows he wouldn't win that lawsuit. So after he went around with this big talk of getting internet lawyers on Dr. Apis, he actually ended up reaching out to Apis. And we're going to read that conversation because, of course, it was also leaked. To avoid these types of misunderstandings and drama in the future, there is something you could do for me. Yes, whenever you upload a video to your YouTube channel, you could display a message at the beginning of the videos that says something along the lines of, this is a fan project for fun, and it's not intended to replace or compete with Yandere Simulator. We support Yandere Dev and do not condone harassment. That's exactly what he wanted Epic Meal Dev to do, and kind of what Epic Meal Dev did, and it still wasn't good enough. This is ridiculous, and this is just Yandere Dev's attempts to push out his competition and delegitimize them by making them fan games. It's ridiculous, and Dr. Apis shouldn't have to deal with it. If he makes his own game and he releases it before Yandere Simulator, that's good on him. You can choose the wording that is most natural to you, but a message like that would probably prevent the perpetuation that there is no longer any reason to support Yandere Sim narrative. Claiming that you are revamping the game is just another way to say that you're attempting to surpass or replace Yandere Simulator, which is a very petty way to look at it. What's extremely sad is at the end of the Osana demo, I was planning for the final screen to reveal that I was officially rebranding Yandere Simulator to Lovesick. I created an animation for it and everything. I would love to see that animation so I'd know you're not lying. After this whole lovesick debacle, I don't feel comfortable doing that anymore. It sucks that I've lost a cool surprise that I had planned. And we're supposed to feel bad for him. We're supposed to feel bad for him because he took so long to develop his game that he couldn't keep his cool name when he could have changed Yandere Simulator's name to that within any of the years that he spent developing this game. I say first come, first served. You didn't fucking do it, so anyone else has the right to. Yandere Dev ends up asking, how many features are in your game so far? Walk, kill, student, sanity, the basic mechanics that I had in my game back in 2014. And Dr. Apis ends up listing off every single feature that he has implemented. Teachers, teacher reactions, digging holes anywhere that has nothing but grass, killing students, blood trails that spread realistically when you drag the corpse, sanity, students, teacher, follow footprints, trails, which is something Yandere Simulator does not have, students, teachers, basic reactions of corpses, blood, murder, pushing students off the 3rd floor, which was a buggy thing in Yandere Simulator. I don't even think it could happen unless it was like a certain event. We made our own custom animation, talking to students, compliments, becoming their friend, etc. Bearing students / weapons, which is something you could only limitedly do in Yandere Simulator. Students can react to other students getting splashed by bucket traps, which is actually something that's really useful, and I like that idea. And Yandere Dev stops before he continues listing how his game is better in every single way, and says, I see, in terms of gameplay mechanics, those are most of the features you see on the surface of any average gameplay session. Not a lot of them. There was quite a few things that you don't have in your game in there. Your project would look comparable on the surface level. He's trying to build up a legal thing there, and it's not going to work. Just like how fucking PUBG couldn't get Fortnite, there's no way you're gonna beat this game. He would 100% beat you in a courtroom. Don't be delusional. I'm not saying this to boast, but to clarify the situation, underneath what's visible on the surface glance, Yandere Simulator has dozens of more features, numerous elimination methods that only apply to certain people in certain circumstances, many activities that can be done inside and outside of the school, many different weapons types, a bunch of different types of objects that can be interacted with and serve many purposes, side quests, minigames, etc. The side quests and minigames are the only thing he actually does have that he can boast about, but the minigames are fucking jack shit, and I wish he didn't waste time developing them. All they are is to help you level up your character. They're completely fucking pointless. Someone just glancing at the project would say, oh, it looks the same. They've recreated all this work, but there's several years worth of mechanics in Yandere Simulator that I'm sure this man can copy too if he really wanted to, that go beyond basic functionality. I think if you make this clear, people will understand that you didn't recreate Yandere Simulator in 2 weeks. So basically this man recreated Yandere Simulator in 2 weeks, and Yandere Dev is so fucking butthurt that he wants him to admit that he didn't. For no reason. No gain to him. He's kind of hinting that he might take him to court, but he hasn't said it directly yet. So no gain to Dr. Apis. He just wants him to do exactly as he commands. I wouldn't do it because Yandere Dev has no place to talk. I'm not sure if you're going to care, but I really want to express something to you. My life has become an absolute hell since you announced your project. Deja vu is exactly what you told Epic Meal Dev. Many of my friends have abandoned me. I don't think you had friends to abandon you. I received dozens of messages per hour, which is what you've been saying for years, from people saying, haha, there's no reason to support you anymore, and the amount of harassment I receive per day has tripled. Oh, boo-hoo. Your apology video didn't resolve the problem. If your apologizing didn't do anything, then why would you ever fucking continue trying to please this man? He's never going to be satisfied if just sorry isn't going to help. Tens of thousands of people are still spreading the narrative that it's possible to recreate my game and within 2 days. It's not 2 days, it's 2 weeks. Way to fucking change the goalpost. You really just want this man to admit something so you can spread around screenshots that you were right? What a fucking child. Every day is a nightmare now. It was already a nightmare before this, because you suck. You're never gonna fucking make your game, and it's only inevitable before people give up and you have no money. It's nothing but non-stop abuse and harassment. It's been your day for years. Every day for years. I just wanted to work on a cool anime game, but I was a dick to everybody. I mean, Project in Peace, and now there's nothing but suffering and misery because you're a dick and you deserve it. I can't have a peaceful life anymore. You didn't have a peaceful life before this. It's because of the existence of Lovesick convinces people that they are justified treating me like garbage. You said this to the other guy too. You said this to Epic Meal Dev. What hurts more than anything is that Lovesick is the name / announced I was going to use. And now I can't even use that name anymore because it's associated with all this pain and harassment. What a fucking crybaby. If you really want the name, use it. He abandoned it now. Just fucking take your stupid silly name. Everything I built has been stolen from me and destroyed, and nobody realizes or cares that it's all because they've been misled into believing things that aren't true. This man literally has like thousands of words on his blog trying to debunk every negative thing someone says about him. The odds of him always being innocent are almost practically impossible. This man is a pathological liar, and he needs to get real help and stop making this game. The actual drama started a while ago, but I don't feel like talking about that. If you are aware this project is having many destructive consequences on another person's life, how can you possibly continue? Don't you see the harmful damage that this is doing for me? If a game is doing this to you, you need to leave the internet. Get a real job, Yandere Dev. Quit begging for money for a game you're never going to finish, and get some professional help. If you're going to be acting like this, you don't need to be online. You don't need to be in this type of job. You don't need to be dealing with this type of shit. Leave the internet and save yourself. If the cost of Yandere Simulator was ending another person's life, I'd cancel development. And by this, he's kind of alluding at suicide, but more so just trying to get pity points saying that his life is being destroyed. But I could see it going either way, so I'm totally okay with people saying that he's suicide baiting, and I can see where they're coming from. If there are tens of thousands or hundreds of people who are tricked into thinking we shouldn't support Yandere Dev because Lovesick exists, and there is zero chance that crowdfunding campaign will be a success. What a fucking loser. Then Yandere Simulator can't exist. If it can't exist, then you should fucking get help. Go out, reach out to people who can actually develop this game and get it done. The more time you procrastinate, the more people are going to leave you, the more people are going to hate you, and the more money you're going to lose. Your project is an existential threat to my project. And it's not because you're a competing product, which that is the case, but it's because your project enables multitudes of people who are feeling justified in treating me like garbage or withdrawing their support. All because they have misconceptions about how game development works. I gave 6 years of my life to this project, and it's all being destroyed. Well, maybe you should have fucking finished it in 4 years. Maybe you should have fucking had Osana done by fucking 6 years. Apis responds, I don't think that this drama started happening due to Lovesick, which he's right. A day prior, when the r/Yandere Simulator Reddit was hacked, before that, people came forward with stupid stories defaming you, which is true. I was one of those people. To be honest, Lovesick is just like, I guess, caused people to ask questions. I thought it would be cleared up with the apology, but I guess it's still happening. It did happen at the most unfortunate possible point in time, yes. Get hacked immediately after someone makes a video with all my game's models in it and misleads thousands of people into thinking my work means nothing. And Apis responds, but yeah, it's just for a proof of concept. We've begun replacing the models, which he is right. They are replacing literally everything, and they're doing it far faster than Yandere Dev did when he had to fucking close his game down to replace grass. They're getting their shit done faster. Still. So that's the image right there. That's the image of the inside of the school now. And it's really nice. It's got wooden floors. It's got better walling. It just looks overall better than what Yandere Dev has. Isn't that just an edit? No, it's not just an edit. That's not a replacement. Tweaking some polygons is not replacing the models. You must make new content from scratch. You need actual character model to create a brand new model. That's the fucking Aoi model that you fucking colored her hair black. That's all you did. You didn't fucking make a new model. You didn't even change her shape or size. You literally just colored her hair black. You just exposed yourself for being fake, Yandere dev. Like, what the fuck? The Aoi hair model from the game asset store, but it's heavily tied to Yandere-chan's identity. No, that's not. That's you fucking making an excuse. You didn't make that asset. You just colored it. That's all you did. And using that hair model and color is like saying, this is Yandere-chan. Well, Yandere-chan's a basic bitch then. She's not Yandere-chan. She's fucking Black Aoi. Like, literally, that's all she is. You don't own that design. You don't own that hair. You don't own that character. Like, what the fuck? But not giving hate is just a recolor Aoi. Exactly. It is Aoi, 100%. And then Yandere Dev says, a character design is different from a character's model. Bullshit, that's one and the same, you fucking liar. Schoolgirl with black hair, ponytail, black eyes, black stockings is the design I gave to Yandere-chan. You didn't give her shit. You literally just changed the color. That's all you fucking did. It's literally the Aoi model. You would not get away with this in court. That's not your character. Yandere-chan, the Aoi character model is how I render that design into a 3D environment. How you fucking steal that design and claim it as your own. It's still my design. No, it isn't. Do you consider Lovesick to be a completely standalone game or a fan game? A fan game would be a free project someone makes for fun because they like the main game. Basically the same thing making fan art. He's trying to make him delegitimize his own game by not calling it a game. I do consider it a fan game for now. But once changing the assets, I do believe it'd be considered a standalone game, but it is still free to play. The Aoi model comes with 80 animations, but Yandere Simulator has 400 animations I got other people to make. You can obviously use the animations that you purchase from the Unity store. Are you sure he can? Because I think it's tied close to Yandere-chan, and it might be too closely associated with her. You fucking hack. But I can't give you the authorization to use any of the animations that were created specifically for Yandere Sim. Apis responds, I know. We have animators creating original animations for us. A lot of people came out surprisingly and wanted to help. It's very generous. And how do you think Yandere Dev reacts to that type of comment? That people are trying to help him, that people care about him. This is how he fucking responds. Those are all people who probably would have offered me help. Which they have offered you help, and you spit in their face more times than not. If my reputation hadn't been tarnished by clickbait YouTubers, that includes me, spreading false narratives, which it's not false, we have proof, and untrue accusations about me, which is true accusations about you for the most part, the help you were getting is what was taken away from me. You're not obligated to this. It wasn't taken away from you. You weren't guaranteed to get shit. It's the help that I need at this desperate part of the game's development. You mean, not even a tenth of the way through? Not even barely done? Like, you literally have nothing done? And it's going to you instead, because people developed misconceptions after seeing your video, trying to shame him. Trying to fucking shame him and get him to stop his game, just like he did with Epic Meal Dev. Trying to fucking shame him. Didn't Watashi have the same problem? I thought that went away after a month or so, if I'm correct. I could type out all the similarities and differences, but I'm too mentally and physically exhausted at this point in time. Also, I believe the people were saying things because we have 2 programmers on the project. I and Nocturnal, my buddy, who studied with me during college classes of computer programming and science for 3 years, so he's actually certified, unlike Yandere Dev. He's more certified and capable than Yandere Dev. Why do people still support him? I guess we haven't been able to reach any sort of resolution, and we'll just have to continue to suffer. I really wanted to take a 2-week vacation or something. You always take a fucking vacation. You take more vacations than anyone. Every time I fucking hear something about you, it's you wanting to take a vacation or you wanting to stream or something. You're always on break, but it's impossible to think of doing something like that while someone else is stealing all my attention and hype from my game that isn't even a game. So, no rest, have to continue forcing myself to work. Yes, because you're not even close to being done. You have to force yourself to work because that's what you're getting paid for, and you desperately need rest. You don't need fucking rest. Make your game. I didn't mean to steal your attention, this guy says, trying to be nice. I thought it would only get 5k views. You can be fully aware of the consequences that you're having on another person's life and still continue forward on what you're doing. I don't see what I did is wrong. This was happening before Lovesick, which is true. It was happening years before Lovesick. You're exacerbating every problem, which is a lie. If my project had these kinds of consequences on another person's life, I'd drop it immediately, which I don't believe because of all the fucked up shit you've said. I don't believe you would drop it. I don't think there's any point in trying to discuss this, though. If you simply don't care about what your project is doing to me in my life, then I just have to live with it and keep suffering and losing everything I've built. You mean everything everyone else built for you and the fucking character you bought. The characters you bought. You built little to nothing. The problem is that you're building nothing. Watashi, Sarah's School Life, and other fan games didn't seem to have this effect though. I do care, which obviously you do because you keep trying to help this loser. It's just, it's been happening before my project, which is true. The thing is, the other games didn't receive a massive outpour of support because anti-Yandere sentiment wasn't very strong, and he spelled very wrong, at that point in time. The anti-Yandere dev sentiment is at an all-time high right now, and you're receiving a ton of support. Everything that you have right now is a result of people being misled into hating me. They're not misled into hating you. Most of the time you fuck them over personally and ban them from your server. You have thousands of people banned from your server. That's not all because of this game. I've had to build everything from scratch. Lie. Fucking owie, you liar. Starting with white cubes and 0 supporters, you fucking liar. You always had 4chan from the start, you fucking liar. You get a massive boost right from the start because everyone that jumped on the hate Yandere dev bandwagon is going to give you their support. If he didn't have anything worth showing off, they wouldn't support him. You're starting to not have anything worth showing off, so they're not supporting you. Fucking do your job, get something worth showing off, and then maybe you can save yourself. I only believe they did so because they were already haters, but just spoke out because of the game. I wouldn't want to build a game with a fan base that only exists because of the hate for another project. Oh, boo-hoo, you fucking crybaby. Money is money, support is support. Doesn't matter what it's built on. And then Apis reached out to Yandere Dev after that, trying yet again to help this man, which Yandere Dev still talks shit on this poor guy when he keeps trying to help him over and over again. Hey Yandere Dev, to be honest, I've been thinking about shifting the focus to a social simulator rather than a murder spree, which I think you can still do both. I want to announce this along with the shift in style with the game's rebrand. This is the way people won't compare our projects. I won't really be making a Yandere simulator, and we can both coexist, which is what other people have done to please this man baby, and I wouldn't recommend you do. The player won't be encouraged to murder. They will have more along the lines of manipulation. On the main part, we plan to have a social simulation mechanics to be the core gameplay, which can be interesting, and I wish he would do that. Murder is an available option to eliminate your opponents, rivals, and will be super easy, but getting rid of the evidence will be difficult. If a corpse is found, cameras will be put up in the school, so no more accidental deaths can occur without being recorded, which is something Yandere Simulator already did. And if you choose to get rid of the evidence, it'll be hard due to the fact that people are everywhere and can do all random things. Stop the routine to drink water, use the bathroom, get a snack from the vending machine. I hope that this can differentiate our projects, and because people need to stop comparing them, if need be, I'm willing to make a video directly announcing this shift in direction, which you shouldn't. Thank you for your time. Yandere Dev says, that does feel like it could help the situation, which it won't. The main core of the game will still have its attention on a social simulator in the first place. That's what we've been working on, the students, more than anything. Most of the student stuff shown in the announcement video, likely drinking water, small events, where they talk to each other about random stuff, etc. And Yandere Dev says the first two projects focus on providing the player with very different experiences, then they won't be much of a comparison. The more you differentiate the two projects, the more benefits there are for both projects. I wholeheartedly endorse the idea. Apis responds with thank you. The corridor test video planned for making soon is going to show off the social simulation side of it. And for the people who are going around saying that these screenshots are fake, here's a conversation that Dr. Apis had where he actually confirms that they're real. This did happen. And now after all this shit is over, after all the stuff with Yandere Dev is finally concluded, where they finally feel like they're on even footing and that they can finally take things out and just be nice to one another, someone ends up leaking all of his DMs, all of Apis's DMs, and this pisses off Yandere Dev, and we're gonna read his post talking about this because he got really angry. Yandere Dev threatened to commit suicide to pressure a game developer into canceling his game project. In short, no, I didn't. Yet again, do you ever say yes? It's always no. It's always, in short, no. Someone extracted Yandere Simulator's assets and used these assets to develop a simple game prototype. They created an announcement trailer showing off what they had done, despite the fact that the prototype only contains a fraction of the functionality of Yandere Simulator, shitting on his game yet again. There's an announcement trailer. It gave hundreds of thousands of people a false impression that the game is to recreate the entirety of Yandere Simulator in only 2 weeks. The only reason that their prototype looks remotely presentable is because they simply copy-pasted all of the assets that were created for me over the course of 6 years. Way to shit on him after talking things out with him. Not store-bought assets, but Yandere Simulator original copyrighted assets, which I'm going to need to see the copyright on those to believe you. But no, Yandere Simulator also uses store-bought assets. He is lying. They created nothing original and simply stole all of my material. It's the most blatant theft I've ever seen in the history of the game industry. I've seen worse. You were one of them. Because hundreds of thousands of people were tricked into believing that it's possible to recreate Yandere Simulator within 2 weeks, my work has been completely devalued, which it didn't have much value to begin with. I have begun to receive a massive amount of harassment. I have started to lose a lot of support that I spent the last 6 years building up. And that's not just because of this game, that's because mostly you're a dick. This is not a case of another developer is making a superior game, but it's a case of a con artist pulling a scam that is tricking hundreds of thousands of people into hating me. That's exactly what you said about the last guy. Are all of them con artists? Is everyone but you a con artist, Yandere Dev? If it's truly a fan project and the developer was truly a fan of Yandere Simulator, then he would acknowledge the damage that he was doing to me and my project, and he would take the action to avoid threatening Yandere Simulator's existence, which it hardly has one. I reached out to him to discuss this. During the discussion, I expressed my feelings. I told him that I felt his project was ruining my life and destroying my life, ending my life, etc. He posted the screenshots of our discussion, which is a lie. He didn't post the screenshots of the discussion. He shared it with one of his friends privately, and that person leaked them. That's not the same. You're lying right there. People use these screenshots to create an untrue accusation that I contacted him to threaten suicide, which it could be seen as that. So I'm not entirely writing that out. I don't think you were threatening suicide, but I can see where they were coming from. Even though I never actually said that. What the actual fuck? This is a screenshot that people posted around, false narrative. There's not a single sentence where I threatened suicide. It simply doesn't happen. In case you need me to spell it out for you, the meaning of the last sentence is, if Yandere Simulator would ruin or destroy someone's life and end their career, I would cancel Yandere Simulator. And that is the whole drama between Yandere Dev and Apis. It is a crazy situation. Both of them have a lot of bad blood. Apis is now doing his game, and it's called Love Letter, and he's completely cut ties with Yandere Dev. I think he even blocked him. I think that's what happened at the end of all that. He called him out, blocked him, and now he's moving on with his own life. If you guys want to support Love Letter, I'll have it linked in the description below. Go check that out. And now we have to move on to the final part of the video. That final part being the fact that Yandere Dev is going around copyright striking people. People have been critiquing him a lot during all this shit, and just like last time, he's striking people again. The Game Sleuth got a strike and almost got his whole channel taken down by Yandere Dev striking a lot of his videos, and Coco Nankins almost lost his channel too. He got a strike from Yandere Dev. So, yet again, Yandere Dev is going around striking the critics of his games. I'll have both of their channels linked in the description below too. Go check them out. Go show them some support. No one deserves to be falsely struck, and hopefully I won't be falsely struck either. And that was everything involving Yandere Simulator from 2020. Osana isn't in the game. Yandere Dev is still being stupid. And now competition is finally starting to rise up, and Yandere Dev is shitting his pants because he now sees that everyone realizes that he is a fucking hack and they want to abandon him. My final thoughts are, Yandere Dev needs to get his shit together, hire more people to be on his team, actually start coding in Osana, finish her up, get the other rivals in, do the fucking Kickstarter, and finish his game. There are so many games that came out during the development of Yandere Simulator that there is a whole Twitter account dedicated to talking shit on this game, listing off everything that came out during the development of Yandere Simulator. Like, it is ridiculous. Hello Neighbor is now a franchise. FNAF is now a franchise. There are so many indie games that blew up and made their games creators millionaires. Meanwhile, fucking Yandere Dev is living off of fucking schmeckles, monthly pennies on his shit game. You need to get this game done, prove to everyone that you deserve the attention, you deserve the fame, and that you're not a hack. If you guys like this video, hit the like button. If you really like it, share it. And if you want to see more, and subscribe. Bye, guys.
Oh, excellent. The latest build and video are finished uploading. I put Osana into the game. Time to release them for the world to see. I hope that everybody likes the latest feature.
Before the credits roll, I thought I'd give a shout out to my multiple ways of making money. YouTube is slowly starting to sanitize the platform, making it harder for people to make money on edgier content like I do. So I'm reminding you guys that I have a Patreon. The Patreon has plenty of reward tiers, including seeing my podcast early, being able to join my fan Discord, and possibly even getting on the show if I can fit that into the schedule. I have video recommendation tiers that you can try to get into, and if all else fails and my YouTube falls apart, I always have a BitChute account. So remember to check out all these different things in the description below.